20%. That's how many parents of autistic children, according to research, meet the criteria for PTSD. Not burnout, not stress, PTSD, post-traumatic stress. And if that number hit you in the gut, there's probably a reason. Because you've been white-knuckling your way through meltdowns and school meetings and sensory overload, aggression, judgment, panic, all while still asking yourself, why isn't what I'm doing working? And that brings me to the problem no one is talking about. You've been told to collect strategies, scripts, charts, therapy goals, and more hours. But no one showed you how to use those strategies in real time with your actual child while your nervous system is on fire. And no one gave you the tools to build internal confidence, the kind that allows you to lead your child without collapsing under pressure. And it's not your fault. The system was never built to give you that. This video is about how trauma takes hold in parenting an autistic child and how you can begin to shift it with support, with strategy, and with the steadying confidence that changes everything. Now, I want to be clear. Most of us won't ever meet the clinical threshold for PTSD, and that's a good thing. But it doesn't mean that we're fine. The constant stress, the vigilance, the emotional exhaustion, it takes a toll. And if we don't name it, if we don't address it, we're left carrying a weight that chips away at our confidence and clarity day after day. So what I'm sharing here isn't just for those of you already at your breaking points. It's for every parent who's felt themselves getting close to that. Because prevention matters, support matters, and this kind of steady internal work, it can keep you from slipping further into that hole. Here's what most people miss. PTSD doesn't always come from a single traumatic event. It can come from chronic overwhelming stress, especially when there's no relief in sight. And parenting an autistic child can be full of unrelenting intensity. Meltdowns that last hours, aggression that comes out of nowhere, public scenes that leave you shattered and ashamed, battles with schools, doctors, insurance companies, the constant fear that you're not doing enough. You live in a state of permanent alert, and over time, that changes your brain and your body. You're not just tired, you might be traumatized. One article I read put it this way. Here's a quote. The prolonged fight or flight mode in autism caregiving can lead to trauma responses not unlike those seen in combat veterans. You're doing everything you can, but the system isn't designed to help you stay regulated. It's designed to focus on fixing your child's behavior, whatever that means, while you carry the emotional load alone. And here's where it gets even harder. When things don't improve fast enough, you assume that the problem is you. You start thinking, maybe I'm too soft, maybe I'm too reactive, maybe I just don't have what it takes. I remember this. I remember feeling this way, working hard every day, just wanting the best for my son and doubting myself. So I kept searching for more tips and more checklists and more training. But even when the strategies are good, they don't land sometimes because your nervous system is still in crisis. What's missing isn't discipline, it isn't effort, it's context. The parenting advice you've been given, it was never designed for families like yours. And the system, medical, educational, even therapeutic, it's not always set up to build parenting confidence. So what you're left with is tools without support and expectations without regulation. Of course you feel like you're failing sometimes, but you're not failing. You've just never had the full picture. If this is resonating, if you've had that moment where you thought, why is this still not working, even when I'm doing everything right, everything they're telling me to do, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. You're not alone in that feeling, and the more we talk about it, the less shame we carry. So what does it actually take to get out of this kind of trauma cycle? Yes, you still need strategies for sure, but strategies alone aren't enough. You need support that helps you apply them to your child in your home in real time. You need a place to work through your own grief and rage and fear and doubt so they stop ruining the show from underneath. And most of all, you need to develop your confidence, not the kind where you fake calm until you collapse, but the kind where you know, even if this is hard, I trust myself that I'm doing the best that anybody could do in this circumstance. I can do this. And when you have that kind of confidence, the chaos doesn't feel as sharp. The meltdowns don't have to define your day, and you stop living like a walking emergency. I don't just give you strategies. I help you figure out how to make them work in your real life, with your child, with all of the emotional and logistical complexity that comes with parenting an autistic child. We slow things down, uncover what's keeping you stuck, and rebuild your confidence as a leader in your home. It's not therapy, but it's deeply healing. And it's not about doing more, it's about doing things differently. So if you're still watching, I want to say this. You're not the problem, you're not broken, and you're not weak. You've been operating in survival mode for too long, without enough support and without the full picture, and without the space to breathe. But there is a path forward, one that includes strategy, mindset, support, and relief. And you don't have to do it alone. I hope this was a helpful message for you today. If so, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you'd like me to help you with. Drop it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.